press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Today we shall start the next lesson in our history part, that is the freedom struggle, especially the Gandhian phase. Let us learn about that. Okay. The next chapter means the chapter number 19, the freedom struggle. The freedom struggle. Freedom struggle, the Gandhian phase. The Gandhian phase means the Gandhian period. Okay, let us learn about this lesson. This is start from 1919 to up to 1947, means when we got the independence. So this time was known as Gandhian phase. Let us learn about that. Okay, you already know about the Gandhiji, isn't it? Now tell me, what is the full name of Gandhiji? What was the full name of Gandhiji? Yes, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was the full name of the Gandhiji. First we learn about the Gandhiji. Okay, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Karamchand Gandhi was the full name of the Gandhiji. Okay, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was the full name of the Gandhiji. When he was born and where he was born? He was born in 1869. He was born in 1869 at Porabandar. At Porabandar, a place called Porbandar in Gujarat. He was born in Porbandar. Okay, this was the place. It is in Gujarat. He was born in 1869 at Porbandar in Gujarat. Okay, here the Gandhiji take birth. Okay, from the initial stage, he took his primary high school educations in the Porbandar. Later he went to England. For study law. He went to England. For his higher studies, he went to England. Those he studied law. Okay. Later he came to India as a lawyer. Next, he went to South Africa. Okay. For what purpose he went to South Africa? To solve the problems of the South Americans. So, as a lawyer, he started his work in South Africa. Okay. He spent 22 years in South Africa as a lawyer. Okay. He spent his 22 years as a lawyer in South Africa. Later he came to India. Okay, he came to India and he also participated in the freedom struggle. Okay, means he also became one of the leader of the INC. INC means I already told. INC means Indian National Congress. Later he joined the Indian National Congress and later he became the one of the most important leader in Indian National Congress. Okay, when he came here, he started to study the situation of the India. Okay, for that purpose he first traveled all over the subcontinent, means all over the India. He understood the situation of the Indians. Here the most of the Indians were the poor. Okay, the most of the Indians were very poor here. They are suffering from the poverty. So as a result, he feel very much on that time. As a result, he gave up his luxury life. and he started his simple life. He started his simple life here. Okay, and that time he also called the people, first unite ourselves. First, if you want to get freedom from the British, we should unite ourselves. Okay, then only we can fight easily, we can fight against the British, and also we get the independence. For that purpose, we should unite ourselves first. Okay, and also he told, putting aside all the differences, putting aside of all the differences means there are many religions, peoples are there, many genders, caste, etc. In this type of there is a diversities, isn't it? Putting aside all these matters, we should unite. We should feel we are Indians. We should unite ourselves. Then only we can fight against the British, and also we can get the freedom. Okay. In this way, he start to unite the Indians. Okay. So, and also he start his simple life here, and also he wove the cloth. On the charaka. He wove the cloth in charaka, especially he wove the khadi cloth in charaka. Or he produced the yarn means spun thread. He produced yarn on the spinning wheel. Charaka is one of the spinning wheel. With the help of the charaka, he started to wove the cloths. And also he told the Indians to wear only khadi cloths, Swadeshi cloth, that is Swadeshi cloth. He also told the Indians, he requested the Indians to wear only khadi cloths. Okay, in this way, slowly Gandhiji joined his hand in the freedom movement. Okay, on that time, I already told, the First World War broke out, isn't it? The First World War broke out in 1914. Then the British request the Indians to help them. The Indians were also helped the British, and also then the Indians think the British will help the Indians after the war. But at that time they passed one of the important and very strict rule or act was passed by the British. I already told about that. Which was that rule was passed by the British during this time, means in 1919. In this time, the British passed one of the important and also the very strict rule that is known as Rowlatt Act. Let us learn about that, the Rowlatt Act. The Rowlatt Act was passed by the British. This was one of the very strict act or very strict rule passed by the British in 1919. Okay, what was this Rowlatt Act? So, according to this act, the British become more powerful. According to this rule, the British become more powerful here. Means the Indians, the British can imprison the Indians without giving any reason. According to this rule or this law, the British can imprison the Indians. They can imprison the Indians without giving any reason. Means they can put the Indians to jail without a trial in court. Without the trial means judicially examination. Without any judicially examination, they put the Indians into the jail. According to this act. Okay. So, in this way, this was one of the toughest act, strict act passed by the British in 1919. At that time, the people start to oppose this act. The people start to protest this act. Okay. At that time, very strict measures very strict measures were taken by the British if anyone protested against this act. Okay, and that time the British took very strict measure to suppress the to suppress the Indians. Very strict measures were taken by the British. If anyone protested against this act. Okay, in this way, the Rowlatt Act became one of the most powerful act in India. Okay, even though they tried to suppress the opposers of the Indians start to protest that act. Okay, then later what happened, you know, in 1919, one of the public meeting was held at Jallianwala Bagh. At that time, a tragedy took place in that Jallianwala Bagh. Okay, that event was known as Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. That incident was known as the Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. Let us learn about that. Okay, Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. Jallianwala Bagh. Bagh means, you already know. Bagh means what? Bagh means garden. Massacre. Jallianwala Bagh tragedy or Jallianwala Bagh Massacre was this was the event was held on 13th April 1919. 30th April 1919. After the passing the Rowlatt Act, this tragedy incident was happened at the place called Jallianwala Bagh. Bagh means, you already know, Bagh means bagiche. Bagh means garden, park. Okay, in this park, one of the important tragedy was held on 30th April 1919. That is known as the Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. Okay, why did that tragedy incident was held here? What was the reason for that? Okay, let us learn. So, on 30th April 1919, a large crowd, about 20,000 men, women, children were gathered. Where they gathered? They gathered in a small park called Jallianwala Bagh. Where is it? It is in Amritsar. This bagh or this garden is at Amritsar in Punjab. Okay, in this Jallianwala Bagh, it was a very small park. In that small park, about 20,000 men, women, children were gathered. For what purpose they gathered here? They had the peaceful demonstration. Means they have the peaceful public meeting. A peaceful public meeting was held in Jallianwala Bagh. The Jallianwala Bagh was one of the small park. Where is it? It is in Amritsar. Amritsar is in Punjab. Okay. First we learn what is the situation of the park. Okay, I already told the Jallianwala Bagh is one of the small park. And also this park surrounded by the high walls. The park is surrounded by the high walls. It is only one way to go out from this park. This park was surrounded. Surrounded means in three parts. This park, the park had high walls in three sides. Means the park is surrounded by the high walls. There is only one way. There is only one gate to go out from this Jallianwala Bagh. Okay, this was the situation of the this park. There is only one way. There is only one way to go out from this park. Okay, this was the situation of the Jallianwala Bagh. This was a very small park. Already about 20,000 men's, women's, children were gathered here. Why did they gather here? For the public meeting or a peaceful demonstration. They were gathered here. So on that time, what happened, you know? On that time, suddenly, a military troop about 150 British soldiers under the leadership of the General Dyer entered. Suddenly means without giving any warning, any information. Okay, without giving any information, without giving any warning. Suddenly what happened? A military troop about 150 British soldiers were entered in this park. They are entered only through this way, through this gate. They entered. So on the leadership of the General Dyer, under the leadership of General Dyer. General Dyer was the leader of that troop. Okay, General Dyer. Under the leadership of General Dyer, about 150 military troops of the British soldiers were entered suddenly. Okay, they entered the park and they blocked the only one way. They blocked the entrance of this gate or entrance of this Jallianwala Bagh. Okay, what happened on that time? Not only they blocked the only way which was got from that park, and also on that time the General Dyer ordered his troop to open fire. He gave a order to open fire on that peaceful demonstrators, unarmed demonstrators. Okay, so when he gave the order for the open fire, so on that time this army, means this troop, they start the open fire on the peaceful demonstrators. What happened on that time? He did not give any warning, any cautions to that peoples who are concentrated, who are gathered in that place. In this way, the soldiers start their fire. They start the fire against those peoples. Then what happened? On that time, the hundreds of innocent peoples were died. More than 100 peoples, hundreds, men, women, children were died in this situation. Not only the hundreds, more than hundreds peoples were died, and also the thousands of the peoples were wounded. The thousands of the peoples, the thousands of the Indians who were gathered in this Jallianwala Bagh, they were wounded. Okay, so in this way, this situation become one of the worst situation, and also the Indians start to oppose this situation. Not only they opposed this situation, they called this was the crime. This was one of the crime done by the British. Okay, on that time they also start to protest this situation. Okay, the Indians opposed this massacre which was held in Jallianwala Bagh. So all the Indians opposed this situation, means this massacre. Okay, on that time, so it is also considered it is one of the worst political crime committed by the British. It is one of the worst political crime done by the British government. Okay, next, on that time the Gandhiji start one of the peaceful movement on that time. Let us learn about that. That peaceful movement was called as non-cooperation movement. Let us learn about the non-cooperation movement. Next, non-cooperation movement. Next one, non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation movement was launched by Gandhiji. This was the movement was launched by under the leadership of the Gandhiji. Okay. So when the Gandhiji started this movement, he told that this movement must be a peaceful. He told that the movement must be a peaceful, non-violence. There is no violence. Okay. In this way, Gandhiji told about the Indians when he started or when he launched this movement. Okay. On that time, the non-cooperation resolution was passed by the Congress. The non-cooperation resolution was passed by the Congress first in 1920. This resolution was passed at first in 1920 at the session of Calicut or Kolkata. This resolution, the resolution of the non-cooperation movement was first passed in 1920 at the session at Kolkata. The session Kolkata, the first resolution of non-cooperation movement was passed by the Gandhiji. Okay, and then at the annual session at Nagpur, and also it was passed. The annual session which was held at Nagpur. The resolution of non-cooperation movement was passed in two places. First at Calcutta and second one the annual session, the Indian National Congress annual session which was held at Nagpur. There also they passed the resolution of the non-cooperation movement. Okay. What is this non-cooperation? Non-cooperation means we should not support the Indians. Non-cooperation. Cooperation means support. Non-cooperation means we did not give the support to the British. Okay, British rule, British goods, etc. We should not support the British. We should oppose British law, British goods and all. Okay, this is called as non-cooperation movement. Okay, so here at that time, what were the aims of this movement? Aims. Let us learn what were the main aims of this non-cooperation movement. Let us learn one by one. Okay, right now. Next one, the main aims of this movement. Main aims of non-cooperation movement. Main aims. Main aims of the non-cooperation movements were, the first one is surrender of titles and honorary officers. First one is surrender of titles. Surrender of titles and honorary. Honorary office. This was the first important aim of non-cooperation movement. The second one is gradual withdrawal. Gradual withdrawal of children. Withdrawal of children. Gradual withdrawal of children from schools run by the government. government, run by the government, and admitting them to national educational institutions, national educational institution, educational institutions. This was the another aim of the national cooperation movement. The next point is, the next aim was boycott of elections. Boycott of elections. Boycott of elections. And next one, boycott of foreign goods. Boycott of foreign goods, especially the European goods. Foreign goods, especially the British goods. Boycott of foreign goods. The next one is boycott of courts. Boycott of courts by the lawyers. Boycott of courts. Boycott of courts by the lawyers. These are some of the important aims of the non-cooperation movement. Let us learn one by one. Okay, the first one is surrender of titles and honorary officers. Surrender of titles and honorary officers which were given to the Indians by the British. Already the British gave the many titles and honorary officers to the Indians. The Indians should give up. They return all these titles and honorary officers. As a result, many leaders they surrendered their titles, especially the Rabindranath Tagore and Subramanya Iyer. Especially the Rabindranath Tagore and Subramanya Iyer. They returned their honorary title called knighthood. At that time, especially the Rabindranath Tagore and Subramanya Iyer. Subramanya Iyer. These two persons returned their honorary title of knighthood. They returned their honorary title called knighthood. Okay, in this way, Rabindranath Tagore and Subramanya Iyer, they returned the honorary title called knighthood. So, not only they returned their honorary title, and also the Gandhiji was also returned his medal called Kaisar-i-Hind. Kaisar-i-Hind. This was the medal given to the Gandhi from the British. Gandhiji was also returned his medal called Kaisar-i-Hind. Gandhiji returned his medal Kaisar-i-Hind. Okay, this was the medal given by Gandhiji from the British. This medal was also returned by Gandhiji. In this way, the main aim of this non-cooperation movement was surrender of titles and honorary officers. The many leaders, they surrendered their titles and also the honorary officers to oppose the British. Okay. The next one is gradual withdrawal of children from schools run by the government. Gradually withdrawal the children from the school run by the government. And also they are admitting means they joined them the national schools, the national education system, means where the national educational means traditional education system was already adopted by the schools which were run by Indians. In those schools the children were admitted. Okay, for example, on that time the children of India, means the Indians children, they were joined in the school called Bihar Vidyapita. The children were joined to the Bihar Vidyapita, Kashi Vidyapita and Jamia Millia Islamia. In these schools were run by the Indians. They providing the traditional education system. Okay, as a result, the Indians join their students, means join their children in these schools or in these institutionals. Okay, where the Indians joined their children on that time, especially Bihar Vidyapita, especially the Bihar Vidyapita, the Indian children were joined Bihar Vidyapita. Bihar Vidyapita and also Kashi Vidyapita. Kashi Vidyapita and Jamia Millia Islamia. Jamia Millia Islamia. In these schools were run by the Indians, and also they are providing the traditional education system. They are giving the traditional education to the children. As a result, many Indians, they joined their children in those schools or institutions. Okay, in this way the Indians gradually withdraw children from the schools run by the British government, and they admitted their children in these schools, means the national educational institutions. Okay, next one is boycott the elections. The Indians did not participated in any elections. They were boycotted. Not only they boycotted, they resignated of the legislature. They gave the resignation to the legislature. In this way, they opposed the British rule in India. Okay. Next one is boycott of foreign goods. Boycott of foreign goods means at that time they did not ready to purchase the British goods, the British produced goods. They put on that time they put bonfire. The British made goods were put into bonfires. Okay, they start to use the Swadeshi goods. Swadeshi goods means the goods which were produced in India. That goods were known as Swadeshi goods. Okay, the people start to use Swadeshi goods. Okay, and also the boycott courts by the lawyers. Many lawyers come out from the court. They stop their work. Okay, in this way they protested. So many people resigned their government jobs. Many people resigned their government jobs on this moment. So, and also the people held peaceful demonstrations. The people boycotted all the goods, and the people resigned their government jobs, and later they held the peaceful demonstrations. Okay, in this way the non-cooperation movement made the British government unable to function properly. In this way, the Indians made the British government unable to function properly. Okay. So, the movement which was supposed to be a peaceful, but it later it turned into violence. One of the important event was held at Chauri Chaura in 1922, when the violence broke out in Chauri Chaura incident in 1992. At that time, the Gandhiji called out to stop this movement. Let us learn what happened in Chauri Chaura in 1922. I already told, when the Gandhiji started this movement, he told that this movement must be a peaceful, isn't it? One of the tragedy event was held in Chauri Chaura. Chauri Chaura is one of the place. It is in Uttar Pradesh. Let us learn what happened in Chauri Chaura. Why did the Gandhiji was disappointed and why he called off the movement. Let us learn that. Okay. Next, Chauri Chaura incident. Chauri Chaura. The tragedy event was held in Chauri Chaura. Chauri Chaura. In Chauri Chaura is one of the important place in Uttar Pradesh. It is in Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh. Okay. What happened here? A peaceful procession was held by the farmers in 1922. In 1922, a peaceful procession was held by the farmers. Okay. On that peaceful procession, the British, especially the British, fired. This was the procession was held by the farmers at Chauri Chaura in Uttar Pradesh. On that peaceful procession, the British fired. The British fired on this procession. As a result, the farmers become very angry. The angered farmers, they burned down the Chauri Chaura police station. Understood what was the situation? In 1922, a farmers held a peaceful procession in Chauri Chaura. The Chauri Chaura is one of the place. It is in Uttar Pradesh. So, on this peaceful procession, the British fired. The British policemen fired on that peaceful procession. When in this way the British police fired on this peaceful procession, as a result it angered the farmers. As a result, at the night time, during the night time, the farmers burned down the Chauri Chaura police station. Why they burned the Chauri Chaura police station? Because the police fired on the peaceful procession of the farmers. Okay. So, this situation angered the farmers. As a result, at the night time, the farmers burned the Chauri Chaura police station. In this way, this non-cooperation movement turned into a violent. As a result, Gandhiji was disappointed. Not only Gandhiji was disappointed by this situation or by this tragedy, and also the Gandhiji called off the movement. Called off the movement means the Gandhiji stopped the movement. Okay. In this way, the non-cooperation movement was ended by the incident which was held in Chauri Chaura in Uttar Pradesh in 1922. Okay. Later what happened? Even though the Congress, even though the Gandhiji disappointed and he stopped this movement, but the Congress was not ready to stop this movement. The Indian National Congress, they start to continued their protest against the suppressed rules of the British. Already the many rules were introduced by the British. On that time, the British passed many rules to suppress the Indians. Okay, against that rules, the National Congress, Indian National Congress, continued their protest. Okay, so later Indians were disappointed. Some Indians were disappointed with the withdrawal of the non-cooperation movement. They are not ready to stop this movement. Okay, they are very suppressed. They are disappointed. The many Indians disappointed by the withdrawal of the non-cooperation movements. So the people who are disappointed, they started the revolutionary activities in India. Those were called as revolutionaries. Understood what was the situation? When the Gandhiji called off the movement, even though the Gandhiji called off the movement, the Indians were not ready to stop the movement. They want to continue the movement. Okay, even though the Gandhiji stopped the movement, they wants to continue their movement. On that time, the most of the Indians, they were disappointed by the withdrawal, by the stop of this movement. Okay, for that purpose, they started revolutionaries activities in India. They also think that only the revolution, the non-violent way, only through that movement, through that way, only we can get the independence here. Okay, for that purpose, the revolutionaries started the revolutionary movements here. Let us learn about who were called the revolutionaries and why. Okay, revolutionaries. Next, revolutionaries. Revolutionaries. Revolutions. Who were called as revolutionaries and who are the leader of revolutionaries? Let us learn about that. Okay. Revolutionaries means a group of people who support a revolution. A group of people who are called as revolutionaries. A group of people who support revolutionary activities, who support a revolutionary activities. Those were called as revolutionaries. Understood the situation? A group of people who support a revolutionary activities in India, those were called as revolutionaries. Okay. Why did they start the revolutionary activities here? Because they are disappointed. By the withdrawal of the non-cooperation movement. And also they start to think only non-violent way. Through these revolutionary activities we can get the independence. Okay. For that purpose they start their own revolutionary activities here. Those who started the revolutionary activities in India, for that time, to win the independence, for those were known as the revolutionaries. Who were the important leaders of the revolutionaries on that movement? So some of the important leaders of revolutionaries were Bhagat Singh, The important leaders of revolutionaries were Bhagat Singh, Bhagat Singh, Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Chandrasekhar Azad, Chandrasekhar Azad, Jatin Das, Jatin Das, Surya Sen, Binay Badal, and Dinesh. These were some of the important revolutionaries at that time. Who were called as revolutionaries? A group of people who supported the revolutionary activities in India to get the freedom. Those were known as the revolutionaries. Some of the important leaders of revolutionaries were Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Jatin Das, Surya Sen, Binay, Badal and Dinesh. These were some of the important leaders of the revolutionaries. Okay, they start revolutionary activities against the British. What is the reaction of the British on that time? The British tried to suppress these revolutionary activities in India. As a result, some leaders were put to death. On that time, some leaders were put to death by the British. Okay, and also they are remembered even today for their bravery. They fought bravely against the British during that time for the freedom. They fought against very bravely against the British on that time. For that purpose, they are remembered now also. Okay, in this way, non-cooperation movements was stopped, and also later the revolutionary activities was also suppressed by the British. Okay, next we learn what happened. Okay, thank you.